All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Morning Skate. We have got an amazing show for you guys today. Real quick, just going to go through the run through of who we have with us today. I am Fink. I am joined by Preston, Clara, and Jenkins. This is a super special episode. If you guys live under a rock, obviously you guys are Morning Skate fans if you're listening already, fans of the game of hockey, the sport of hockey. We are joined today by someone that has absolutely shaken the sport up and down, left and right. She has been the topic of conversation for the Morning Skate, as well as ESPN, Sportsnet, you name it. She's been talked about. Taya Currie joining the show. Taya, how are you today?
Good, you?
Doing great. We are super excited to have you here. We have got some questions set aside, so I'm going to kick it to everyone that's on the stream right now. We'll find out a little bit more about you and a little bit more about your journey in these last couple of weeks. So, Clara, if you want to take it away, let's have some fun.
Well, Taya, thank you so much for joining us on this podcast. We've had some pretty big names on here, Mike Ruzioni, but honestly, I think you are probably one of the biggest guests we're going to have in the scheme of things, just because you have absolutely shattered gender barriers in hockey by being the first woman drafted in the OHL. So first of all, congrats on that. If you guys didn't know already, Taya was drafted 267th overall by the Sarnia Sting. So Taya, tell us, where were you? What was it like when you first heard about the possibility of being drafted in the OHL?
Yeah, so before it even happened, I knew it was a little bit, there's a chance. I talked to a couple of teams. Honestly, I just wanted to see my teammates go and get drafted. I was just patiently waiting. I wasn't staying on the screen all day. I was doing stuff. Of course, around round 10, 12, my family told me to come inside just to watch just in case. And when that happened, it was so exciting. Everyone was jumping up and my phone was dinging off like crazy.
So in the lead up to the draft, did you know that like teams were interested in you? Had they talked to you before or reached out?
Yeah, for sure. Of course, as I said before, 3 teams reached out to me. I knew like there was a chance, but I didn't think it would actually happen at that point.
So describe the response from your teammates and family when you were drafted. I imagine they were absolutely ecstatic and just so proud of you.
Yeah, of course. Like so many family, friends have reached out. Everyone's been so positive to me and helpful and congratulating me. At that time, first thing, general manager from Sarnia Sting called me and said congrats and told me how it's going to go. And he's going to tell me which interviews I should do first and just organize it all great for me.
So what was that phone call like, being on the phone with the GM of an OHL team, knowing that that had never happened before, having a woman drafted in the OHL?
Yeah, at that point, our family was yelling so loud. I didn't really have words. I couldn't really hear him. Yeah, it was just super exciting just to hear him talk to me.
And I know you mentioned you got about like 10 interview requests a day. So how has your life kind of changed these past couple of days with just being in this massive spotlight in the hockey world?
Yeah, I've been trying to just enjoy it all, take in the moment, have fun with it. And yeah, it's just been a great time lately.
All right, so Taya, just kind of following up on Clara's question, like obviously massive spotlight, everyone's paying attention. Names like Manal Rayom and Shannon Sabatos, pretty much the entire hockey world, you know, congratulating you on Twitter, on, you know, Facebook, all that. Like, what is that feeling when like the only other 2 women to ever play in a CHL game, neither of whom were drafted, were actually signed? Like what kind of feeling does that bring in? Like you have an NHL alumni, you have a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, just like, hey, great job, like great for you.
Yeah, it's honestly crazy. Even before the draft, I didn't even expect anything like this. I just thought it was normal. I've been playing with the boys for 7 years now with the Chiefs. And it's just normal. I'm the only girl on my team. And it's just been, I don't know, I worked hard and I'm a very driven person. I just think as I deserve that spot.
I think it's the right way to think about it.
So you said before that you just wanted to be treated like a normal player on the team, but obviously you are in a position that, you know, a lot of your teammates can't relate to. So how do you kind of navigate, you know, this pressure of being a huge role model to all these young players, especially young girls, yet also just trying to be, you know, like a normal player on the team?
Yeah, I just want to focus on my game and not get worried about on the negative side of it, and just focus that I belong here and I can compete with the boys.
So you said earlier on, you said you've been playing for the Chiefs for the last 7 years. I'm from the Elgin Middlesex area as well. Grew up not too far from you. So have you always been playing boys hockey, or was your experience with the Chiefs kind of the first kind of transition over to that side?
Yeah, so I'm novice in Tyke. I played with the boys. Actually, in Tyke, first year novice, I played on 2 teams, girls and boys. So I got a little feeling for both sides of it. I definitely preferred the boys side. It was just like they're more worried about hockey. The girls were it was just kind of like a side thing to them. The boys were like the competitive, and I just enjoyed that.
Very cool. I'm Preston, Taya. This is awesome. How does your unique style of goaltending set you apart and work to your advantage?
Yeah, definitely my speed side to side. I think that's my strongest suit. I work hard and battle for every puck in my crease. And I'm a very flexible goalie, and I'm just very driven.
So obviously the narrative around you has kind of been, it's a question of talent, not gender. I mean, you got drafted purely on your talent alone, which is a huge compliment given just the prestige of the OHL. And I actually played boys hockey for 7 years, not at the OHL level, of course, but I remember there being like a ton of challenges, just, you know, missing out on team bonding because I wasn't in the same locker room, or, you know, some parents not being particularly happy that, you know, there was a girl on their son's team. So I was just wondering if you've experienced any of these challenges and how you've had to overcome them.
Yes, of course, like, I get my own dressing room. I do miss a little bit of team bonding, but I don't think that really affects me. I'm used to it. Ever since the beginning, I've been dressing by myself. Yeah.
Of course, I'm sure it's just kind of the norm at this point, given how long you've played boys hockey. So what is your message to other girls currently playing boys hockey who might kind of feel left out or not welcome in that environment?
Yeah, don't worry about the negative people hating behind your back. Don't focus on that. Just focus on the positive people and look for, like, you follow your own path. Honestly, you don't need to follow a certain path in your life. Other careers are great too.
Of course. So I've heard some whispers that you could potentially represent Hockey Canada on the international stage one day. So what's that like, hearing your name kind of being thrown in that conversation with, you know, the possibility of like World Juniors in the Olympics and just tournaments of that magnitude?
It's honestly more than a dream come true. I'm super excited just to keep working hard, keep working on my own game and focusing on that, and see where my career takes me.
That's amazing. So obviously, like, being as talented as you are, and that's a huge thing, right? Like, it's opened up so many different avenues and different opportunities. Have you looked at all into potentially moving into the NCAA? Like, what are your thoughts on that route as well?
Yeah, I definitely have many options to consider, and I haven't really decided at this point, but in the near future, I have lots of decisions to make.
I mean, I think you should enjoy it now. Decide later. Yeah. I mean, like you said, focus on the positive for now.
Just
Jenkins, way to rush your decision here.
Yeah.
Let her enjoy the moment first.
I'm telling you.
So your sister plays in the Provincial Women's Hockey League, and you've mentioned that as a potential route as well. And obviously, that's a huge decision, so you don't have to answer directly. But when the time comes, how do you plan to make that decision? And you know, what do you kind of look to for like what you want in your future and a place to play?
Yeah, I definitely want to be the best I can be at my own level. It's definitely different playing with the girls. The shot's different, the speed's different, and when they shoot, it's different. It's definitely something I'm going to have to practice with, but I definitely want to, at this point, want to go to the starting camp and see how that goes.
again, you have a little bit of time to decide and just take in the moment right now. That's really what's important. And I understand that you are not just a single sport athlete. You play soccer, rugby, and also barrel racing, which for those you don't know, it's a Western equestrian sport where you ride horses really fast around barrels. So how have those sports helped you become a better athlete in your goaltending career?
Yeah, I'm definitely a very athletic person. On summer, we do a lot of water skiing, wakeboarding behind the boat in our lake in Port Franks. We have a cottage there. I enjoy all sports. I like the competitive side of it. Yeah, I love barrel racing. The speed of it is my favorite.
So tell us a little bit more about barrel racing. I know just from looking at your Instagram, do you own a couple horses?
Yeah, our family lives on a local farm in Park Hill. We have 7 horses. I have 2 of my own, and Sunny and Trigger is their names, and I barrel race.
Those are adorable names. So is that something you plan to kind of keep up as your hockey career gets a bit more serious?
Yeah, definitely hope to keep it up. I enjoy it. It's kind of like my side thing to get away from all the social media and stuff, and something I just, after school, go out and enjoy by myself.
And is that something you've competed in at any level?
Yeah, definitely. I've gotten more competitive over the years. I hope to go around Ontario this year to see how that goes.
Well, that is just so cool and so unique for someone in the OHL. I'm sure that's another something that, not a lot of people can relate to, is being, an awarded barrel racer and also, an elite junior hockey player.
It's a pretty long list of very cool things that you're very good at.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to move to the questions that these other 3 won't understand because they've been free for a little while. But quarantine, because up here we've been hit pretty hard and things have been kind of slow to get back into kind of the normal rhythm of things. So what was it like for you? Was it tougher to get on the ice, meet up with teammates, keep up with the hockey specific end of things?
Yeah, this past season, we were actually very lucky. The Chiefs really pushed for us to get on the ice. At the beginning, we played here in Perth in a couple of games, and then we moved on to London Knights. We played twice a weekend, and we practiced, of course, 2 or 3 times a week. And Team Dryland, we were actually very lucky for that.
Oh, that's amazing. It's a way better opportunity than, like, especially with everything being closed. It's I'm sure it's tough to find those opportunities, but that's huge.
Yeah.
Do you have any role models outside of hockey, someone you look up to?
No, just, of course, my family, my parents especially. They're great role models. They let me choose my own path, and yeah.
It's nice to have, a family that is all on board, and to have that support, that means the world. That's super cool. Is there any particular music you listen to before games in the locker room to get pumped up?
No, not particularly. By myself, I usually like it quiet, but outside of hockey, I'm definitely a country person.
Yeah, that was my next question. What song or artist do you like to listen to outside of hockey?
Yeah, I just enjoy all country music. I'm not too particular. In the car, we're always listening to country.
That's the right answer, Fink.
I have no comment. I'm the only guy from Texas, and I don't like country music. It's a different thing. We can talk about that later.
I like country. Country's good. It's awesome. What do you do during the off season to stay in shape and keep yourself busy? I know you kind of touched on this a little bit, but is there anything in particular you do to stay in shape?
Yeah, I have a personal fitness trainer, and I work out there 2 or 3 times a week, and of course, I work out at home in my gym. We do a lot of water skiing, as I said before, in the summer behind the boat. Of course, barrel racing in the summer, but yeah, we're a very athletic family.
Awesome, that's very cool.
Yeah, it seems like you definitely have a lot going on to keep yourself busy. That just sounds so fun. Like the ideal summer, just hang out with horses, water skiing, all that. And being up in Canada, for those of you who don't know, Tim Hortons is huge there. And I'm actually in Michigan right now, and we're lucky enough to have a couple Tim Hortons here as well. So I was wondering what your go-to Tim Hortons order is, because to me, it is a medium double-double, or in the summer, a light ice cap. So I was wondering what your go-to order is.
Definitely a farmer's wrap with the ice cap for sure. I'm not honestly a big person that eats out, but when I go, yeah.
Oh yeah, those ice caps just they can't be beat.
The farmer's wrap is a game changer, though.
I don't know if we have that down here.
Sorry about your luck.
I know Timmy's is better up there. Like I swear it's different.
And I would just like to go on record, too, to say the McDonald's and the Tim Hortons giveaways for toys for kids' meals are astronomically better than what we have in the States. I don't want Hot Wheels anymore. I want hockey sticks, and I want Muppets dressed up as hockey players. I want to go on record as saying that. America has absolutely subpar toys when it comes to giveaways.
Okay, the real tragedy, though, is that they took away the roll up the rim to win. I mean, I totally understand. Like, with COVID, they don't want people bringing in, like, chewed up cups, but it will be missed.
They have it on the app. You can still get free stuff. It's not the same, though. You're right.
It's definitely not the same.
Do you have a favorite NHL team or player?
Well, my family's definitely a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. I'm more of a Pittsburgh fan. I do love Carey Price.
Carey Price. I'm a big Carey Price fan. Always have been. Go Habs. Let's go Habs. Do you have a playoff prediction?
Pardon?
Do you have a playoff prediction?
I don't know. Honestly, I'm not sure at this point.
That's all right.
I'm actually going to jump in real quick, Jenkins, before you ask. I was going to say, have you had a lot of free time to actually sit down and watch the Stanley Cup playoffs? Like you were saying, you've been basically bombarded with interview requests left and right. Have you really had a chance to sit down and enjoy the sport outside of what's going on personally?
Honestly, no. I've had not much time. When I do get time, of course, I'm outside with the horses and stuff or with family.
I think that's really commendable because we live in a day and age with social media left and right, basically clogging our ears and our eyes. So I think that's really amazing. And I think you're a great role model for kids your age and younger coming up in the sport to really kind of step back and enjoy, the little things or, enjoy practices. And, as much as they suck, but bag skates, morning skates, after our namesake, but just taking a moment to really enjoy that and not do it so much for clout or social media, but do it for yourself. So I think it's really commendable. I think you're doing an amazing job.
Yeah, especially because so many kids around, 15, 16 really make hockey kind of their only focus. And obviously for you, I'm sure it is a huge focus, but it's so nice that, you're still able to spend time with your family, with the horses on the farm and still do things that you simply just enjoy, even, if it's just for fun.
Yeah.
I love your determination, Taya, and the hard work. Keep it up. I love the good attitude. It's awesome.
It just makes me regret everything I've done for the last 15 years.
Me too.
Thanks, Facebook.
So, Taya, being from Park Hill, is it more exciting being drafted closer to home? Like, obviously excited to go anywhere, but just being so close to home, moving to just to Sarnia there, like, is it more exciting or would it have been cool to kind of venture out into the wilderness of Ontario?
Honestly, I didn't really care, but it's pretty exciting that my family can come watch me anytime if I stay with Sarnia. It's only 45 minutes from my house. But going somewhere else away from family would have been a great experience also.
And what are you most looking forward to, aside from the actual hockey aspect, with just moving on to the next stage of your career now?
Just meeting so many great people. Like, honestly, they're so welcoming of me, and so congratulations always. Just great words from them.
I have to say, you are the coolest person I've maybe ever talked to. That is the perfect answer.
Yeah, like I as I mentioned, like grew up playing boys hockey, and there was a time where I thought I'd make it pretty far, but just seeing you, like just break this huge barrier and play at like one of the highest levels of hockey, just regardless of gender. I mean, the OHL has so much skill, and it was just amazing seeing, like a female be able to play at that level, and just proves that, gender in sports really is something that's kind of arbitrary, and that skill doesn't really have a gender.
Thank you.
Put it on a t-shirt.
Yeah, put it on a t-shirt. Make it happen.
Yeah, you guys like merch or something.
Yeah,
people
for
will
sure.
buy it, I swear.
I'm curious, do you have a set number like that you've always worn? And if so, like when you got that call from the GM, were you like, hey, this is my number. I own this now?
Yeah, I don't know. At the very beginning, my mom said you're putting on number 1, and I've worn that ever since. Never worried about. I've never changed. Honestly, all my stuff is number 1, so it's just been easy.
At least it's probably a pretty easy number to get as a goalie. They're usually safe for
wake
goalies.
up with them and wake up with that mentality of I'm number 1 on my back and everywhere else,
and in the program. So are you? Because I know there's like a pretty well-known fact that goalies are generally pretty superstitious. Would that have anything like if you weren't able to wear number 1 going forward? Would that be a big deal to you, or if they, any drastic changes in the setup?
Honestly, no, I'm not superstitious at all. I don't have anything like that. If I got number changed, it wouldn't be a big deal. My hockey is how I play, and I know what I'm doing on the ice, and I'm not worried about that kind of stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think that speaks
a lot.
Collected. Yeah, I was about to say that speaks to your liking of Carey Price, because that feels like something that he would say too. I'm not sure if you watched some of his interviews, but when they were saying, oh, your team's up by 1 and you've got to carry the team on your back, how does that feel? And he just goes, cool. I mean, it's pretty unflappable guy. Speaking of Carey Price and just the NHL players in general, you mentioned that you were a Pittsburgh fan. I'm assuming you've been watching them for quite some time. Do you think that you style your game after like a guy like Marc-Andre Fleury, obviously with the Golden Knights now, but coming up with the Pittsburgh Penguins, or do you kind of specifically cater it towards a certain style outside of Marc-Andre Fleury?
More Shannon Zabadoff. I really love watching her play. She's very big goalie and makes herself look big to opponents. She's quick in her crease and good side-to-side movement.
Yeah, that's awesome. Out of curiosity too, I mean, we've talked a lot about hockey, and obviously we're pretty catered towards that. Do you have a favorite hockey movie? Is there one that you go to? And if not, have you watched the new Mighty Ducks series?
No, I haven't watched the Mighty Ducks, and I wouldn't say I have a favorite movie. I'm not honestly a big TV person. We don't watch television that much at home, other than my family's always watching Maple Leafs when they're on, but not now.
Yeah, things have been a little bit quiet here lately for the household. Well, that speaks volumes to everyone that's coming up too. Don't watch TV. Just go out and have fun, live your life.
Yeah, if you want to be drafted in the OHL, spend time, doing other activities, horseback riding, not watching TV. That's probably where I went wrong.
That's where I screwed it up.
I was gonna say we all have favorite movies. We probably watched all of them, all of our favorite series. Meanwhile, we're sitting here at desk doing an interview with someone that has done more than we'll do in a lifetime.
Big fan. It's super cool.
Yeah,
I was just wondering what the most challenging aspect has been, just in your hockey career, growing up, if you've ever faced just really challenging adversity with being the only girl on a boys team.
No, I honestly, teammates have been great. We're like a family. We're so close. But I'd say the social part a little bit. We have different interests, of course, with the boys. But I wouldn't say that's a big deal to me. I focus on hockey when I'm at the rink. And other players, when I make a good save, they congratulate me or give me a tap, which has always been special to me. And at tournaments, parents of other teams, it's just been a great experience and always positive. Nothing negative to my face.
I think, honestly, that's just so great to hear and really encouraging, for a lot of girls out there playing boys hockey, and just really speaks to that. It's the skill that does the talking at the end of the day. And you definitely proved that.
Yeah, to kind of bounce off that, Clara, and Ncaa, for you, what's the message that you really want to send to young ladies that are basically coming up in the sport that may be a little bit nervous or having their first experience playing with the boys? What's your message to them? Because obviously this, like we've said, is huge for the sport. So what do you kind of want to share, and what's really what you want to drive home to them?
Just follow your dreams. Find your own career, as I said before. Honestly, just have fun with it. Live your life as best you can.
I think you're more well-spoken than any of us in this entire group. And for someone at a young age like yourself, and you've handled this extremely well. For someone that hasn't watched any movies and you haven't seen the generic hockey answers, I think you're destined for absolutely stellar things. But that's all the questions I have. I don't know about anyone else. If you guys want to toss,
I'm gonna steal one question from Fink. This is Fink's go-to question. I'm actually shocked he didn't ask it. So when this story gets turned into a movie, who do you want to play you?
She doesn't watch movies. That's why I didn't ask.
That's fine. I'm gonna watch the movie. She can still pick who plays her.
All right, fair.
Oh, I don't know. I can't really choose that. Not off the top of my head, I can think of anyone.
Well, keep us posted.
It's bad answer, but
I could see maybe Sabrina Carpenter.
If I knew who that was, I'd say that's a great answer.
You obviously haven't listened to Sour if you don't know who that is.
Listen to what?
Sour, Olivia Rodrigo.
Over my head.
It's a good pick, Fink. It's a good pick.
You definitely live under a rock then. But
yeah, absolutely. Taya, you and I are in the same boat right now because I have no idea who that is. If you know who that is, you got me.
No.
Just me then.
I'm sorry I derailed that with my question then.
We were smooth sailing up until that.
Yeah.
But well, anyone else have any more questions for Taya before we call this one an episode?
I was just wondering, what has the response been from like strangers? Have people just you don't know like reached out to you or DM'd you on Instagram saying like, "Hey, this is huge, congrats," you know?
Yeah, my DMs and Instagram literally blew up, and the follow request is crazy. It's been great, honestly. People have sent me negative comments. I know in the TSN Sportsnet, it was a lot of negative stuff, but that's okay.
Hockey fans are just that is ridiculous.
Those are probably people that know their wrist shot is floppy and then they can't absolutely get anything past you. So they're like, this chick would absolutely obliterate me on the ice. So I have to be mean on the internet.
These are just people that didn't get drafted 10 years ago and they're doing like they're just hanging out watching the playoffs and seeing Taya's face smiling on.
I can't stand
Sportsnet.
those comments.
Yeah,
it's like, hey buddy, are you drafted in the OHL? No, like shut up.
No, they're probably upset that the larges that they wore in high school don't fit anymore, so they got to put XLs on for their hockey pants. But it's okay, no one's judging.
Whoa, shots fired! Let's relax for a minute.
Hey, I'm just saying, like, if you want to be like Taya, just go out and work out a little bit. take care of yourself, okay?
Well, it seems like obviously the positive response is overwhelming.
Yeah, I think we're all super. I mean, obviously, this is our first interaction, but we can all like confidently say that we're super proud of what you've done. We're super proud of what you're doing for the sport. You handle yourself like a professional that's been drafted 15 years ago. So I think that speaks volumes to yourself, your upbringing, your family. 100%. Keep up the fantastic work. You have got thousands of fans. You've got some very special fans here on the Morning Skate. We will be watching every step of your journey. And you're always welcome to come back, and we would love to have you on when you basically take over the NHL.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see your hockey career unfold.
Yeah, thank you. We'll see how it goes.
Well, you're off to a great start.
It seems bright for sure.
Yeah.
I gotta find a Sarnia Sting Curry jersey now.
I know. I want the the Curry jersey ASAP, and not the Steph one. I want the Taya one.
Right.
Yeah. No international shipping. Just send them all to me, and I'll drive them down. Hand delivered Sarnia Sting jerseys.
Anything to get you out of quarantine.
Number one.
Well, guys, thank you, Taya, again for your time. Obviously, you're super crazy busy right now with everything going on. Enjoy the moment, enjoy the weekend, take your time off, and enjoy the horse riding. This has been the Morning Skate with Taya Currie, and hopefully we will see her again soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Taya.
Good luck, Taya.
No problem. Thank you.
Sure you got a lot other of interviews lined up today, so good luck with those, but thank you so much for giving us the time.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, thank you so much, and we'll see you again soon.